So this is page M216. I'm really not going to talk about it or use this book very much for this one. I do not like it at all. So we're doing average rate of change. Again, I didn't like the way they did it, and I don't really like the way they did this formula. So just know that we're not using the book for that reason. So average rate of change, I don't want you seeing the definition yet. If we were to find our first differences, or how much it changed by, so from 65 to 60, or if you take 65 minus 60, you get 5. 72 minus 60, you get 12. Remember, you always take the second number and subtract the first. Then 75 minus 72 is 3. And 80 minus 75 is 5. This side is going up by 1. So we're not worried about that part. What we're worried about is that these are not the same. So it would not be linear. Remember when we were talking about like linear regression, and we would look at points that were close but not exactly on. Like you could see that they're all going up, kind of like these points right here. You can see they all kind of go up. One goes up a lot more than the others. This is talking about somebody working in the summer and how much money they made each week. So like the first week they made $60, the second week 65, third week 72, fourth week 75, 5 is 80. And if they were wanting to know how much on average they made each week, or how much it changed by each week, like how much more did they make each week, that's what we're going to be doing right here. So it's not perfectly linear. We've talked about in the real world, things aren't perfectly linear. So what we're going to find is the average rate of change. So average rate of change is when you use 2 or more points to find the average amount something changed by. So again, it's not perfectly linear, so we're going to find the average. Remember, average is where you add up all the values, or in our case, it's going to be the changes. So you add them all up and you divide by how many you have. So in this case, sorry, I'll leave that for just a second. If you need to pause the video, you can. I'm going to move my notebook. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I'm going to add all of these up. So you're going to see me draw a big line right here with a plus sign. So I'm going to take 5 plus 12 plus 3 plus 5, and I get 25. Now, that's 25. That is not close to the average, because once you have your total, so this is the total, you're going to divide by how many weeks. In this case, it's weeks. Most cases, it's just going to be whatever the x is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it's not actually, sorry, I said that wrong. How many weeks? So how many changes? Let me write that. How many changes? Sorry. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4 changes. So I'm going to divide by 4. So 25 divided by 4. Sorry, my son is sleeping behind me and he's breathing really loudly. So it'd be 6.25. So 6.25. So our average is 6.25. Remember that this is actually 5 over 1. So 5 over 1, 12 over 1, 3 over 1, 5 over 1. So just to make sure, since this one's divided by 1, you don't have to take this into account. The next one we will do doesn't have that. So the average in this case was 6.25 more each week. So this person or student working over the summer was making $6.25 more each week. So that's what that's what the average looks like. So again, we added all of these up. 5, 12, 3, and 5 to give us 25. So then let's do another example. So find the average rate for the table between the intervals listed. So let's find the average for all. And then we'll do the intervals one. Okay, so f of x, remember that's the same thing as y, don't let it freak you out. We're going to start using that a lot more just so you get used to it and you don't get freaked out on any test like PSAT, SAT, anything like that, ACT. So we're going to take these and we're going to do 18 minus 21 is negative 3. 2 to 4, or 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. 8 minus 6 is also 2. And then let's keep going on this side. 16 minus 18 went down by 2. 10 minus 16 is negative 6. So notice these ones are not going up by 1 like this side over here. So we're going to actually have to do the rate. So what is negative 3 over 2? What is negative 2 over 2? Remember, change of y over change of x. Y's over run, or y's over x. Then negative 6 over 2. So that, let's find what those equal. So negative 3 divided by 2 is negative 1.5. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Negative 6. Remember, the negative on your calculator is this button right here. So when you're dividing, don't hit this subtraction sign or it'll put A and S for answer. Minus, you would want to do negative 6 divided by 2, which is negative 3. So then now we can add all of those up. So negative 1.5 plus negative 1 plus negative 3. So notice I just hit plus a negative. You could subtract, but I like doing it that way. So that's the total. And remember, now we're going to divide by 3. Because there are 1, 2, 3 changes. So divide by 3. So divided by 3 gives us negative 1.83333. On the assignment, it was rounded to the hundredths, so I want hundredths place, which is 2 decimals. So I'm going to look at the third. What does that 3 make that 3 do? Does it round up or does it stay the same? It would stay the same. So our average rate for all of them is this. Now this next part, and we're almost done, I promise. This next part is find the intervals between 2 and 4. So interval just means between 2 specific numbers. So if I want to look between 2 and 4, we've already done that, but I'm going to still get you in the habit of writing it down. So between the first point is 2, which 2 had 21, 4 had 18, So we know it changed by 2, changed by -3. We've actually already found it. It's right there. So it's -3 over 2, which equaled -1.5. So that is our average. Sorry, I didn't write that out all the way. Average between the interval 2 and 4. Okay, now let's find the average between 2 and 8. So that's a big jump. So I would actually be finding that average right there, but I'm going to just write the point down. 2, 21, 8, and 10. So it's pretty much like I'm ignoring these ones right here, and I'm just going to look at the first point and the last point. So from 2 to 8, or 8 minus 2, that's a change of 6. Sorry, you probably can hear my son. 10 minus 21 is -11. And then you would want to do change of y over change of x. So 11 over 6, -11 over 6. Don't forget the negative. So -11 divided by 6 is -1.83333333 again. So it would be -1.83. Notice that's exactly what we found here by finding the total. That doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. So on the assignment, you're not going to have to do all 3 parts. Just I wanted to make sure that you guys understood this part, and that's why I added it in there at the last second.